Hey everyone, Travis here at the NA playoffs for spring split. I think that's what it's called, right? Doublelift?
Yeah, for LCS, you didn't mention that part.
Oh yeah, well LCS. I mean, I figured people would see you and they know what league you play in.
The OGN.
OGN. Hey guys, we're here in Korea. Monte Cristo just cast a game. SKT versus KT. And Doublelift is here. No, anyway, so Doublelift. You guys just beat Coast pretty convincingly 2-0. That first game, you guys had a very strange level one, or not a very strange level one, but definitely a level one that was favorable for you guys. Obviously, Nintendo burning the flash could not gank correctly up top. Do you think that the level one was like basically began the snowball that was that game for you guys?
Yeah, it must be really demoralizing to just get all that stuff taken away from you at level 1. So their AD carry had to blow flash and was at like 40%, and he made the wrong decision because he didn't base. And when he didn't base, I just knew for sure we were going to smash bottom lane. And then obviously their jungle, he got crushed. He didn't get his own blue buff, and I think Dexter ended up with 3 buffs. Just a lot of things went really well for us that game at the very beginning, and so it just kind of snowballed from there because like their bot lane's getting crushed. Nyan had some trouble top lane because of the way the wave went, because he was fighting with us, and then it's just like bad RNG, the wave pushes. And we just sent Dexter over and over to gank the Ryze, which is what we should do to shut down Ryze because he's only good at like 50 minutes. And we just played like smart. And Coast just never, their picks were really bad. Xin Zhao Ezreal with double AP doesn't make any sense. There's no synergy at all. So we just kind of outcomped them and outplayed them, and I think we ended the game like 29 minutes.
Yeah, let's talk about that because I know we talked about level one, but it seems like the picks and bans for that first game were maybe even a bigger deal on the rest of that. Jet, I know was particularly kind of impressed with how you guys went through the banning phase and all that, and we saw Nian on Jax as well. So was that like a secret thing? You guys have been like, let's throw Nian on Jax and let him figure out how to play that over the past couple weeks?
It's not really a secret because in OGN he's just been a really high priority pick, and Jax is just really strong. I mean, if you just look at EU, the team with Jax almost always wins, and if they don't win, it's because their team was really far behind, probably like 10k gold down on the other side of the map. Yeah, we just make Nyan play what's the strongest champions, just like any good team would.
Well, I don't mean to say, oh, like the Jax pick is surprising, but only in the sense that I don't think people knew that Nian was playing Jax. It also kind of is a little bit different than the type of champions that he tends to play, like the more tanky kind. So was that, you guys were just basically like, okay, Jax is pretty popular, so learn it, Nian?
It's not so much that Jax is popular, more that he's just really OP. So like we just know that like what champions are really strong and what champions to prioritize. C9 taught us like a lot of stuff, like which champions counter which, like when and like in what pick order you should pick certain champions, and Jax is just really high priority, and I assume that he'll be really high priority when it boils down to top 3 teams playing against each other. He's probably gonna be first pick must ban every game.
Was there any part of not just wanting to get Nian on Jax, but also wanting to make sure that Zion couldn't get Jax?
Yeah, I mean it's the signature, it's the best champion, so taking it away is really good. It's a good strategy.
Okay, now the second game, you guys kind of had a weird start there. Coast seemed to have a little bit of a lead. What allowed that? What happened there?
Zion does what no team we scrimmed in the last 2 weeks does, because we've primarily been playing C9. C9 never freezes, and Coast froze, which is really bad. Normally, like if you did that to us like 2 weeks ago, we would like really quickly respond and just take all your turrets. But it took us like 2 minutes or so because it doesn't really happen to us in scrim, so we kind of like messed up the rotations a bit, and we didn't pile the wave correctly and stuff. It was just like some really small stuff. It always adds up. But in the end, like yeah, he freezes the wave, but what ends up happening always is they get a CS lead, we get a turret lead. They take map control because they have more items than us, and then we just have to turtle within our base and make sure they don't take towers. And eventually, when they base, which everybody eventually has to base, you just push out of the map, and because they don't have towers, they don't have any safe places to go, and you just take control of the map. It's really, well, basically what they did was they just wanted to win the game in like 15 minutes, but we didn't let them. Like we didn't feed or anything. LeBlanc Aurelia doesn't have any like late game, so we just waited till like 20 minutes to push out.
Any thoughts on Coast's Ezreal pick in the second game?
They picked it both games, and it was really bad. I think he thinks Ezreal counters Lucian. Ezreal's like a really good lane matchup against Lucian, but the first game he 2v2'd us, and he's supposed to win that matchup, but he lost because level 1. And the second game, we 2v1, so Ezreal never got to do anything. Ezreal gets outscaled really hard by Lucian, so it was kind of bad, I think. I don't like Ezreal that much.
Any thoughts on the Vayne ban?
Yeah, I think definitely like teams gave them like private intel and stuff because I never play Vayne, and it was just like really weird to see them ban it because I played in a couple scrims or something. Maybe they like saw that I was playing it on my Smurf, and they're like, "Oh wow, he plays a lot of Vayne," which is really funny because it's just solo queue. I don't really care, you know. I can play every day, and the second game they left it up, and they're like, "We're gonna ban him to play Vayne," and I was like, "I don't. It's okay. I can play Lucian again."
Now TSM tomorrow, bit of a rival for CLG. Maybe TSM CLG, one of the longest standing rivals of all time.
Yeah.
Thoughts on going into that match tomorrow?
It's really nerve-wracking because TSM is really good, but I think this patch hit them really hard. So normally they might have like a slight edge over us because they just have really good players. They're playing really well. But on this patch, they're playing really sloppy, I think, and their strategy kind of got hit really hard when Bjergsen stopped winning mid all the time.
Now, you said that the patch hit them kind of hard. How about CLG? Like, what impact has 4.5 had on you guys?
Pretty much all positives. We scrimmed C9, who's probably the best team to adapt to the new patch. They know exactly what's OP. They know the best rune setups, the best mastery setups, and like what works well with what. So playing against them a lot has really helped us step it up. Because if we didn't get to practice against C9, I think we wouldn't have uncovered like all this stuff that nobody else is doing. Like when I check other teams and like what are they doing in this situation, they're not even close. They're like 6 steps behind us in C9.
Any concerns that if you guys do beat TSM and presumably will face Cloud9 since they're like favorites to get to the finals, that scrimming against them might have been an issue for you guys?
No, scrimming against them has only netted positive for us because they're so much better.
Even if you play against them?
Yeah, and if anything, they're going to be really sad to face us in the finals because they're going to be like, we practiced against these guys and showed them everything. Whereas, like, we're really good about our scrims and we try to hold stuff from each team. So against each team, we'll hold one strategy.
Well, how do you know that they didn't do the same thing and hold something out?
They did.
Yeah.
They did for sure. We know 100% that Cloud9 holds their own strategies, but we think that ours is a lot stronger, and they're kind of less cheesy than us.
So even though you don't know what their secret strategy is and they don't know what your secret strategy is, you still feel as though your secret strategy will be stronger than theirs?
No, I'm not going to say that. I think Cloud9 versus us in the finals is going to be like 60-40 to them because they're just really good. And we still learn a lot. Every time we scrim them, we learn something, which is really scary if you consider how far ahead we are from the rest of the teams. Like, Cloud9 is just that much ahead of us and TSM.
Now, you have been voted in to go to All-Stars, as you'll be going to Paris. I will be going as well. You'll either be going with your team if you make it all the way through. Or how excited are you about going to Paris?
I'm really excited. I don't really care too much for the 2v2 or the sending 2 players for the All-Star show matches and stuff. Like, it's not really a big deal to me if I win the Hexakill competition or anything like that. And I'm not going to say that, like, oh, wow, it's, like, pointless or anything, because it is cool to, like, have that interaction with your fans, but it's not like a display of skill, which is, it's more of a display of, like, popularity and just, like, showiness. Yeah. So, and there's, like, a lot less on the line because you're not really like fighting this country. You're fighting like a mixed region roster, and so like there's a lot less tension when it's like that. I would much prefer to fight another region with my own team, and so like I can prove that I'm this good, or my team's this good, or my region's this good, instead of just like playing these kind of fan service type game modes.
Now, Fnatic has gone through, so Reckless will be there. Yeah. Thoughts on you seeing Reckless again?
He's a cool guy. He's a really cool guy. I want to hang out with him. I haven't gotten the chance to sit down and talk to him in a really long time, so he's cool. I really like that guy.
Yeah, or maybe bring your shirt or your jersey and have him sign it or something? The one that he gave you?
Oh, no, I trashed that a while ago.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
I'm just kidding. It's on my desk. I'm not joking. It's on my desk.
Yeah.
My computer desk where I spend every day.
Yeah. Just look at it.
I smell it a lot. Reckless is a nice odor to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very Swedish.
Yeah. What is a Swedish odor like?
I don't really know how to describe it. My hips shake uncontrollably.
Really? Yeah. Wow. Is that, since it's at your desk, is that a distraction during scrims?
Not really. They do that anyways,
Okay.
regardless of the shirt.
You want to get that looked at or anything?
It's a blessing, I think.
Okay. So you were going to be in Paris.
Yeah.
Outside of competing either in the event as a team or with your team or as like sort of the international thing, what are you excited about? Anything else? Are you like a big? You want to get some? What are you doing with your hair?
It's fucked up because I shampooed today.
It gets fucked up when you shampoo it,
Yeah. It's all flat.
and you just
going.
doing this a ton helps.
A little bit.
Anything outside of the event? Like, are you excited to be in Paris? Like, do you like the French language? Like, you looking to meet some cool French cosplayers or anything?
Nah, Travis, I'm not you. So, no on the last question. But
I just like interviewing French cosplayers and
Yeah.
cosplayers in general.
Yeah, I saw all the male cosplayers you're interviewing. Oh wait.
I did. I've interviewed a Frosted Ezreal here a couple weeks
Anyways,
ago.
so, yeah, that nice, that one time. Anyways, I'm pretty excited to go to a new place. Like anytime it's anywhere. Like it doesn't matter if it's like Madagascar or like Paris. I don't care where it is. It's just cool. Like you only get these opportunities
Antarctica?
in life. Only if I have the right equipment. But you only get these opportunities like a few times in your life because like I know when I'm 30 or 40 or something and I have like a real job, it's gonna be like really few and far in between to like know, oh, I can just go to this place and it's just like it's all paid, like I'm getting there and I get to do something there and then I get some free time to do what I want. It's really nice, especially since it's all paid for. So yeah, I want to explore Paris if I can. If I can't, then I won't be sad. I'll just be like, wow, I was in Paris, got to see like a couple things. I'm sure I'll get like a few hours free time to hang out with French people, get shown around. It's always nice. So I mean, I've done it so much now, but it's always like exciting. Every 6 months or so, I'll go to like this new place and it'll be sick.
Now, speaking of cosplayers, I was at PAX East this past weekend. Sad you weren't there. It just wasn't the same kind of PAX without you.
Yeah.
Very different experience. Not as many good memories.
Yeah.
But we won't talk about that. What did you do this past weekend? Like, just were you preparing the entire time, or do you have any time off to do anything?
Let's wipe that smug grin off your face. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you messaged me and you said, Travis, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I'm in PAX. And you're like, and you said something like, I don't have any idea what to do. And I said, like, go learn to swim, meaning like learn how to swim and do stuff on your own without me. And then you said, I already know how to swim. So I don't think you really got that. But what
that means?
Yeah.
Holy crap, I've never heard of that saying before. I actually didn't do anything. I think on our day off.
I feel like I saw pictures of you hanging out with people on Facebook.
Oh wait, no, I actually legit forgot. Like, yeah, I'm not even trying to hide anything from you. I actually forgot, straight up.
Okay.
I have that bad memory. I went to USC to hang out with some friends. It was really fun. It was like a board game night. You know, the book club meetup too. Just a lot of nice activities that wouldn't get anyone in any trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was just fun to I had one day off and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do something on this day off because Link had to do something as well, so it was like no practice that day. It was nice to have a little break away from League, but for the most part I've been spamming the hell out of solo queue, like a lot of playing. I don't play D3 in the last 2 weeks. It was really hard. It's so hard to stop playing that game.
We keep moving. You notice that, right? Like you're doing like a little dance. So we just, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know how to dance, Travis. Are you gonna teach me one day?
I guess so. You have to follow my lead though.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Maybe in Paris.
We can ballroom dance.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking a little bit feistier.
What's more feisty than ballroom dancing?
I'll show you.
Oh, okay. Well, isn't Paris the city of love or something like that?
You and Reckless and me, and it's gonna be great. You have any shout outs, plugs, anything you want to say at the end of this interview?
Some plugs for you.
Okay, so twitter.com/SOTL Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my Twitter, CLG Doublelift. And to our sponsors, Razer, Zubu, iBuyPower, NZXT. And then, man, what's coming? Oh, yeah. And Zubu especially, because they made that sick playoff intro for us. And that was pretty hype. I was thinking like, oh my god, this might be really cheesy or like overly done. Like you're trying too hard to be OGN, and then I watched it and I was like, well, it's pretty sick. And I saw like a lot of people were commenting on it, like, oh wow, I'm like, I want to watch your games now, and that's really cool for them to do that.
Your hips start vibrating.
Always, always.
Thank you so much for the interview, Doublelift. Looking forward to seeing how you do against TSM tomorrow, and hanging out with you in Paris. Yeah. You can check out the rest of our coverage of all things LCS and more, especially leading up to All Stars in Paris at ongamers.com.